seconds left on our countdown for our first piece, An Outpouring of Pain by Sasha Igwe. We have Sasha here on the line with us, luckily, to speak to this fantastic piece, already with a 0.05 ETH bid on it. Um, Sasha, if you're by your mic, would you kindly speak to this a little bit? Would love to hear from you.
Sure. Yeah, so this one is called An Outpouring of Pain. I basically created this with the meaning of releasing your pain in order to, at least for me, releasing my pain and recognizing the light that can shine through once I release that pain. I did it on the Sketchbook Pro app on my laptop computer, and I started from a pencil sketch and then took a picture of that sketch and scanned it into my computer and worked with it that way. I played around with some colors. I decided I wanted a background and created a waterfall background to it. There's a description there too I can read, or is that okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, by all means, please.
Okay, hold on one second. So the description says, when I finally let go of the pain within me, I make room for my inner light to expand. When I let go of the bitterness, regret, guilt, and shame, I take a sigh of relief. Now I sit as waves of peace wash over me. And yeah, I really enjoyed the process. It was being able to create something like this in 24 hours was a really eye-opening experience for me to know just what I can do and just to kind of have a bit more confidence in myself. So I really appreciate this. So thank you.
No, and I love how you described it with waves, and that contrasting with the water against the background. It's a fantastic piece. You made some changes partway through the process, isn't that right?
Yeah. So when I first made the sketch, the pencil sketch, the woman had like a very pained expression on her face, and although the idea is for the person to be releasing pain. So while I was working on it, I was sitting at work, and a coworker walked behind me and said, I was telling her what the piece was meaning to me at the time. And she said, it doesn't look like she's having a lot of relief right now. And so I kind of decided to kind of change the expression, and instead of just having pain pouring out, maybe allow for some of that silver lining, that light to kind of start to show through as well. So that way it kind of gets my point across a little bit more clearly. I think, one of the ways that I do a lot of my art pieces is one of my main thoughts is like, am I getting my point across? And so with her feedback, it kind of encouraged me even further to kind of explore more and see how I can get my point across more clearly, even with the short amount of time. So
No, and you did a really, really great job of that. I remember when you were creating the artwork, you very kindly shared that process with us, and we got to see. I think you started with the head, and then the hair, right? And it looked like clouds, and it still does.
Yeah, and it's funny because someone DM'd me and said that when the hair on some of my pieces looks like clouds, and I didn't think about it, but because I really love clouds so much, now I see it all the time, and it makes so much sense. But yeah.
I share the same passions. Absolutely. Clouds are one of my greatest fascinations.
Yeah, I do. That's like Lovely Days actually is kind of a play on the fact that I daydream all the time. So that's part of it. And then just days as in DAYS as well. So it's just kind of a combination of that. I don't really use it too much outside of a couple of places, but I might start to use it more. We'll see.
Absolutely should. No, I think that works perfectly on the clouds. Sasha, it's a fantastic piece. Thank you so much for speaking to it. Congratulations on the sale.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you, Sasha. Next, we have our next piece by Ibrahima Khalil, or Ibro Kebe. Ibro is here with us, and we have a piece up for auction by him titled Nanga Def, or Peace Be Upon You. The piece currently has an opening bid of zero point zero 0.05 ETH on it, and Ibro is here with us on the line. Ibro, welcome. Would love to have you speak to the piece a little bit. I know you did an excellent job of that earlier, but um, if you could take us through a little bit one more time, I'd love to hear.
Oh man, for sure. Uh, well, not to keep it, not to give the flowers back, but thank you guys for the opportunity. I think this was dope. Um, and to speak to the piece, so I wanted to do something different for me because um, the most of my creative process right now has been mostly 3D art. A lot of the work being in the Oculus. So right now, or for the auction, I was, you know what, let me challenge myself. And I found some images in the catalog that I really liked, depicting old Western Africa. And being West African, I was like, wow, this is pretty dope. And just as the pictures kind of went down, I was like, look at how, I was just looking at how it transformed during time and how people in that culture transformed over time. Um, Going from, what's funny to me is like, I was looking at the pictures like, and they're black and white. You can't really tell if they're wearing gold or not, but in the last picture, in the final picture that pops out the most, you see all the gold on them. So to me, that's just beautiful in terms of transformation. I like, we know West Africa is the Gold Coast, you know, and I wanna, just one of my first pieces to go on sale is pretty dope. That it be something that's like home based, you know. So in regards to the piece, um, if I can read the description,
Mm-hmm.
Nangadef, the formal greeting in Wolof. Wolof is the largest ethnic group in Senegal and is spoken by 85% of the Senegalese people. This piece was inspired by the urge to create a visual representation of the transformative beauty that stems from West Africa. Um, and that's not fluff. I really felt like that while I was looking at the picture. I'm like, damn, these are beautiful people. And looking at the images, they kind of like stare back at you. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it. I had a lot of fun creating this piece. I had other pieces as well, and they were all pretty dope, just having different meanings to them. And I look forward to making more pieces like this, or just more pieces of art in the future.
No, I see that. They really do look back at you. Each
Yeah,
one of them has like that straight look into the camera, and it does feel like that.
right. And that's what really got me. I'm like, wow, what are y'all trying to tell me? And, you know, I was off my little microdose, so I'm like, man, these images speaking to me more than all these others. So it felt good. Felt
Yeah,
like
it
they're like,
does.
yeah,
It does. It does. Not just like the like the background being black and white, and like the people being in that background, but the background there being the same for all of the people coming afterwards. It's like it's the same place. Um,
right. Yeah, and you know what? I just pretty much noticed that. Yeah, that's dope.
it's an excellent PC, bro.
Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, we have 20 seconds left. Zero point zero 0.05 ETH current bid on the piece. Um, it's a fantastic, fantastic piece. Thank you so much, Ebro, for speaking to it. I really think this is massively undervalued at zero point zero 0.05 ETH, but nonetheless, I think it's valuable, will be realized. And congratulations on the sale, Ebro.
Thank you. I definitely appreciate it. Real.
You are absolutely welcome.
And shout out to whoever the collector is.
Yeah, shout out.
Hey, congrats, bro. Hey, bro.
Hey, appreciate it, man. Love.
And I just do a little research on the Wolof.
Yep, the Wolof.
Wolof, and checking out the geography of Senegal, right next to the Conduit River.
Yep.
It's really cool.
Yes, sir. They're the largest ethnic group in Senegal. Pretty dope. And they're part of it's the Wolof, and then there's the Bambara, and then there's the Mandingo / Mande tribe. So all like distant cousins, because the language all kind of stems from the same word. So if you speak one, you can kind of understand all the rest. So it's pretty dope.
Yeah, I remember that from earlier. There could be a potential Info Remix Ebro collaboration here, but it's something to discuss and visit. But I do want to put Julie in the spotlight for our next piece up for auction here. Transformation by Julie Sigwart. Julie is on the phone with us here in our clubhouse room hanging out, and we have a current bid of 0.05 ETH on Julie's piece. Julie, if you're by your mic, would love to hear you speak to the piece a little bit if you'd like to.
Sure. I talked about it earlier today. It's sort of a very kind of literal translation of, the theme of transformation, and where, transformation begins, deep within your soul. And what I had mentioned earlier about this piece was that this was the second piece that I had tried or worked on for this submission. The first piece, there's another collection I have of NFTs. They're called Freakin' Happy Flowers. And they're all very, very happy flowers. They've got hearts in the center. Some of them are little seeds that grow into happy flowers. But, the main focus of my art is to, bring joy to the person who owns the piece. So you can look at it and, reflect on, your own growth and, know that things are okay in the world, one way or another, despite, whatever is going on at the time. So this particular piece, the first one I tried to do was similar to my happy flowers, but I wasn't entirely satisfied with the result. So I started again, and I started working on layers and, working on a mandala type of imagery, which morphed into, this focus of a heart and, light and inner spark that is in the center of the image. And you can see that, I worked it so it would radiate out and, layered multiple hearts. It was done in Sketchbook Pro. I wasn't sure if I did it in Sketchbook Pro or Procreate because I used both of those programs, but it was definitely in Sketchbook Pro. And also part of it, I worked on some layers within a program called Prisma, which is a program that transforms your art into other things, various filters and effects and so forth. And, I liked the depth that it gave me on, some of the little droplet kinds of feel in the artwork. So, yeah, that's my piece.
That's excellent. That explains it. I do see the radiating effect. It does feel like it's emanating from the middle, and it just has that that shine. It's very natural. It has a very natural feel to it. So it definitely has a lot of love put into it, and I'm really happy that this found a collector. Congratulations, Julie. Congratulations on the sale.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely welcome. Congratulations. Awesome. We have two more pieces up for auction. The first of those is Forged in Fire by One Frog 9, aka Brit. This is actually there's three pieces of paper in this image that I'm pulling up for full resolution. But what happened here is, along the theme of transformation, and I'm going to speak on behalf of One Frog's piece in his absence here today, but this piece was created in a really interesting way. It was also a process, like these others. This one was created on paper, and it was a large piece of paper with very densely filled artwork inside it, and this took time to create. And Frog took it, and he recorded all of this in a video, by the way. He took that paper with all of this incredible artwork that he made on it, and he burned it. He burned it down the middle, and at one point, 3 of the corners were burning, but this was the only corner that was not. And from the other 2 corners, these are the only 2 surviving pieces. Together, these are the only 3 pieces that made it and have survived that fire and have gone through that and have essentially been forged in fire. These are the 3 pieces that remained, and Frog put them together and put them up in this image as the NFT. Like I said, this image actually has unlockable content alongside it. The artist OneFrog9 has provided a video for how he created this image, and this is being made available to collectors initially in a communicatory way, but in the future directly as part of the NFT's metadata. So the artist is part of the Dream Conduit community and has created this incredible piece, submitted it to the artathons, done it all in 24 hours, and it still has an opening bid of 0.05 ETH. It's really unfortunate that we don't have Frog here to talk to us about the piece, but Frog did give a description of his piece, and maybe I can read that out on his behalf. So I'll go ahead and do that. I am on a path where I can't quite see the end. Glimmers, shimmers, and foggy visions of my greater works drift across my unconscious eyes. To build in community, a space for us to come together, share food, knowledge, care, creating new, old vibrations of thoughts and being, showing self and other a path to peace and growth. I want to go there now, and since time is an illusion, we can say we are already there. It only need be manifest from our hearts, head, and hands. And that was a description that Frog included alongside his piece and is embedded alongside the NFT itself. Another piece of unlockable content that does come with this piece is actually the remainder of that description and the perspective that Frog had going through this artathon experience and destroying something to create something new in the spirit and the essence of transformation. But it's very it's a very fantastic piece, and the other pieces that are included as images alongside this NFT are the individual images photographed and included separately, so that if you wanted to look at each or consider or hang up any one of them separately, you could do that. But this is Frog's piece. The description is there alongside the piece. You can revisit it at any point in time. It's very poetically written, and it's just it speaks to the piece very, very, very deeply. Forged in Fire by OneFrog9. All right. The bidding has closed on that one, unfortunately, but there is one final piece left for the Artathon auctions. One last piece, Transformation Portal by Kendall Sarah Scott. Unfortunately, Kendall is not here with us, but This is a fantastic piece that not only speaks for itself, but inspires maybe a few words that I can say on its behalf. When you first look at this piece, it's almost as though it gives old manuscripts, old handwritten letter vibes. It feels like this is something from the past, but these colors and the way they combine with each other, it feels also, in a sense, distinctly modern. This is a piece that's had that poem written on it, and then all of these watercolor effects laid out on top of it. The poem that is actually written there is hard to make out, and that is by intention. The poem is included as unlockable content for the buyer to revisit at any point in time, and the artwork is the transformation of that poem into this recreation that we see now. The colors are simply outstanding, blend together beautifully, and this really epitomizes and embodies the theme of transformation really quite nicely. This does have an opening bid of 0.05 ETH. There are 3 minutes left to cast a bid on this piece. Again, bids are free to cast. You only pay gas if you win, and then it's $1 to transfer the funds. So it's 0.05 ETH to cast a bid and $1 of gas, and nothing more than that. And 80% of the proceeds do go to the artists, with 20% being kept by the Dream Conduit to cover costs, and that goes to royalties as well as to primary sales. So for this piece, we can read the description that, oh, congratulations. Congratulations on the bid that was just placed on Transformation Portal by Kendall Sarah Scott. Congratulations to the collector. I would like to read the description here, included alongside it. Transformation began with a portal into the clear unknown, from pen to watercolor, dipping into symbolic roots to feel the earth. Terrain emerges, a flower blooms, self emerges as muse to surrender into the evening sky. Now, this isn't the poem. That is poetic, agreed, but that's not the poem. The poem is something that is absolutely magnificent, and it's very eloquent. And just in celebration here of this final auction, and graciously thanking the bid that was placed by this kind and generous person here, we will read the theme, the poem that was written by Kendall in this image right here. Transformation. Garden lush and green deep. Earth melts compost. Dark descent. Crunchy leaves innocent caterpillar. Stripes, antenna waving. Dark descent. Discovery of shadow time. Moving self into surrender. In surrender, finding presence of shift. Molten ooze, metamorphic goo. Shadow dance to reborning. Emergence equals beauty truth. Sometimes transformation is a shadow box. Transformation Portal by Kendall Sarah Scott. This image speaks for itself. The poetry speaks on so many levels. The description encapsulates it and imparts the emotion with which it was created in an absolutely spectacular way. This does have a current bid of 0.05 ETH, 15 seconds on the clock. I think it has found itself an absolutely lucky collector. And I really wish that Kendall was here to receive her congratulations on a piece that has sold. Congratulations to all of the artists today. Congratulations to all of the artists from the Artathon. And thank you to everyone for coming out. We have concluded now our Artathon auctions. This has been day 3 of our Artathon auctions, and thank you if you're on our live stream for watching, for placing bids, for supporting, and for taking your time and spending it with us. We are deeply, deeply appreciative of all of the support that has been shown by everybody throughout this process. And we are absolutely excited to be sending the funds to the artists in the next 24 hours. So thank you everyone for taking the time and spending it with us, for casting your bids and making this a success. Would not have been possible without you. If you are on the live stream, we are going to wind down our conversation on Clubhouse. You're absolutely welcome to join us there. But thank you so much for taking the time and for spending it with us. Have a great day, everyone.